Hello everybody and welcome back to Radio Turku and to our new episode. So, I'm Taru, your new host, and I'm really happy to be here to discuss all these amazing Turku topics with you. So, me and Simone had a little bit of a technical difficulty with the first bits of audio with this episode, so I will be introducing you to this topic that we have today, which is the Sounds of South Festival happening on the 11th and on the 12th of July here in Turku at Taiteentalo. So, in this episode we have two guests, Marceline, who is one of the founders of the festival, and then Clara, who is a link between the festival and the city here. So, the festival is about the African, South American and Caribbean cultures and musics specifically. It's a 2-day event, as I told you, and it starts with a cultural parade here in Turku with then some family-friendly events on Friday, and then on Saturday, the Saturday is completely filled with different music events. There's a bunch of DJs playing during the day and in the evening, and then there's also a really fun after party. So, let's cut into the episode and hear what Marceline and Clara have to say.
And then we had our typical DJ artist event. And then this year, 2025, we're doing something similar that we did in 2024, but just bigger. So it's 2 days event. So on the 11th to the 12th of July, 2025. And then the day one will be we'll start off with the Cultural Street Parade. And then we will end up with family-friendly activities. And then the next day will be the DJs and the artists for considering. Yeah. And then what kind of reviews we had, maybe Clara could chip in.
It's been, how should I say, a really nice thing is that the variety of the audience is very big. It's like from different countries, different languages, and all age groups. So I think that has been really successful. And reviews. Now I have to ask you,
That's like, what was the question that you asked? Like, what were the anecdotes?
Anything that anything memorable that has you bring over the years? Maybe something you started talking about reviews, so maybe something that people have really enjoyed about the festival, and maybe something that keeps people coming back to the festival.
I think what really comes to my mind and what really makes me happy, and I think it's very successful festival, has been kind of making me realize that what we want to achieve with this festival, we are actually achieving. My 16-year-old daughter with her friends, you know how difficult it is to entertain that age group. Yeah, so when after the Cultural Street Parade, and then the friends came running to me, they were really happy. This was they were like, this is amazing, this is really great. And I was like, mission accomplished.
Yes.
I managed to bring the culture to the way that this group liked it.
Yeah.
So I was really, really, really happy with it. And I think that is the whole idea of the Afro-Latino-Caribbean Festival, the Sounds of South Festival, is that we want to bring the culture to the Finnish society very close. So they get to see it, they get to know it, and then it's not mysterious anymore, right? It's not something they imagine in their head. They see the African masquerade on the street of Turku, and it's normal.
Yeah, and it seems to work, because from what you say, you are growing really fast. Like you mentioned the 3 editions, at this amount of time, and then one day, and then 2 days, and it keeps growing. So I mean, of course, this year's edition hasn't happened yet, but it almost makes me feel like what our next year is going to be. Are you going to keep growing? I imagine what you would like, but could you imagine yourself having the Sound of South Festival being a several days long celebration, something big?
I
Even
think
bigger?
that would be nice, of course, but it's a bit tricky because we really love the place where it's been organized, as it's there in the quite close to the city center.
Yes, it's for the people. It's in the Taiteentalo backyard. So
And it's a very nice place. So that will be a bit challenging, but that area can also become bigger than the part we are using right now. It's possible to open up and make it bigger. So yeah, why not? But yeah, one more thing I think that has shown that it's been really a good festival is that there are many artists who would like to come and perform. And as a musician myself, I think also the musicians coming, they really want to know it's a serious festival and there will be audience there and things like that. And I think we have succeeded well with those artists that have been showing up, and the dancers and the dance groups and samba karaoke, and there are, I think it's been really good. So they are sort of standing in queue to come perform.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, because one of our question was actually how do you select your artist? How do you invite them? How do you do this kind of church? But actually, you even have people now. You don't even have to hunt for artists. They are writing to you because they want to be part of it.
Yes.
So that's how does it happen? Have you struggled this year maybe deciding who you wanted to have because so many people wanted to be here? How does the process goes for inviting artists and
I guess it has to be like a good variety, so that is helping when choosing. So yeah, but I don't know exactly how it has been.
Yeah. So how do we select the entertainers and the artists and the DJs? So we do that like as early as the October the previous year.
okay.
Yeah. And then we look around, like, of course, we want to have really like very good entertainers there so that people will really enjoy the show. And then we look around, like who is available, who plays Afro, who plays Latin music when it comes to the DJ, who are the Latin performers, who are the Afro performers, who are the Caribbean performers, because we have to represent all the entertainment should be representative of those countries. It doesn't matter if you're not from there, but you have to be performing or playing music from there, from that region. Yes, exactly. Yes. And so that's how we pick them. And if we as well go abroad, because this year we have 3 DJs coming from abroad. We have DJs coming from Germany and Belgium and then England. Yeah, and I think we've always had at least one international DJ, so we're expanding and going everywhere. So the record number of DJs from abroad is this year, so we're having actually 3. And then the DJs coming, they are more of Afro DJs. And then the Latin DJs, we have them here locally from Helsinki. They are coming from Helsinki, yes.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, you could call them locals.
Yeah, they are local DJs. So, yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah. So I think that's how we pick the DJs. And then when it comes to performers as well, because we as well provide a platform for up-and-coming artists. Yeah, that's one of our aims. We provide a platform for up-and-coming artists. So we know that people with talent, they probably did not have an audience. So we provide them that audience where they can showcase their talent. And in so doing, it's not only providing them the audience, we as well hope that in the audience there can be a producer that might be interested in them, and then that's how they kick off. Yeah, so we looked for artists as well, one playing Afro, one playing Latino, so this is how we have it this year. Some years we might have more Latin, some years we might have more Afro, but we always try to have this balance between Afro, Latino, Caribbean, so that it's representative of the whole concept of the festival.
Yeah, and then we also have in the team a really talented professional DJ, Atla, who is also here living in the area. And he knows a lot about what's going on and what's trending, what's the newest music, because he's also DJing himself. And he also is creating music and that's a lot in the music industry. So I think he's a really good member of the team to really put effort into that and to know also all the technical matters, like what's needed for the stage and the sound system and the light system. Yeah. So he's very, very professional with that. I think so. This is bringing a lot.
Yeah, I think I come to talk about the team. I think when I think about Sounds of South Festival, I think about the team. It's what drives that festival. We have a very good team, and we have the team members. They all have different talents and different capabilities. That when we put them together, we make a festival of this sort. And Clara just mentioned one example, which is Akla, which is actually a resident DJ, and what his capabilities are. And then we have Clara, who is a music teacher. We have Tere, who is a dance teacher. And so we have other people there that has what it takes to pull off the festival. That's how I see it. I'm very motivated and energetic team.
Yeah. Actually, like we've been talking about DJs, you mentioned the parade. Could you briefly sort of go through what types of performances and what types of activities the festival includes besides the music?
Yeah. I think the festival showcases the music, food, dance culture.
That is to say, food. When I was there at the ticket sales, very many came for the food.
Yes.
I saw food, and I don't know if they stayed as late, so they did dance so much, but the food, they were really, really, it was really important. Yeah.
So when you mentioned the food, is it the same? Afro-Latino Caribbean food. So from specific countries, or yes.
If we talk about the festival, just start thinking Afro-Latino Caribbean.
Yeah, because I was going to say it's a very large area.
It is a large area. So the food this year, we have the cuisine from Cameroon, Africa. And then we have another cuisine from, is it Ecuador? I don't know if I'm correct. But anyway, we have a cuisine from South America. Yes.
So I think it's a good way for people who have maybe been to Africa and really miss the food they have had there to come and have it really nicely, or somebody who really would like to come and try something new that you cannot get in the restaurants here.
Yeah, exactly. In Turku or in Finland in general, maybe you can have food from so many places around the world, but traditional food from West Africa, for example, I mentioned earlier before we started that how much I would love to taste the futu, because I keep on seeing on Instagram these days people are sharing their recipes of futu banana with sauce grain, and like I want to try that kind of food, and in Finland you cannot. So that's also the sort of thing you propose.
Yes.
That's that's great.
Yeah. So come for the food if you don't come for the music and the dance and the vibe. Come for the
There was also the fashion parade.
Yes. Yeah.
Clothes.
Yeah. Yeah. So if we think about the rundown of the day, can we speak the part of the parade? Let's speak the parade then, because we want people to come to the since we want people to come to the next one. So on the 11th of July, we start off with the cultural street parade. I think right now, give or take, we have about 10 countries that will be there at the parade. Yeah. So we leave from Kaupatori, and then we dance all the way to the venue, which is Titan. And then from Titan Hollow, we are going to have the official opening of the festival with an official from the city. And then the festival starts with family-friendly activities, so educational and interactive activities. Interactive in a way because we have dance workshops. So we have Afro workshop and we have a Latin workshop. And these are going to be led by professional teachers. We have a Senegalese dance teacher that will be leading the Afro workshop, and we have a Cuban dance teacher that will be leading the Latin workshop. And then we as well have designers that will be there, like clothes designers. So they will be there with presenting their designs on model, on the runway. So that's where we have the fashion show. So that they will showcase the designers' clothing line.
Okay.
It will showcase the designers' clothing line. And then we have as well live music, which is coming from the Ambado. They do a lot of traditional Benin music. That's from Africa. And then we drumming and things like that. And we have an acrobat that will do acrobatic display and then fire display and acrobatic display.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is for the family friendly. That's for the 11th. Yes. And then for the 12th, we have DJs and the artists that will be giving us the entertainment. So as I already mentioned, that we have 3 DJs coming from abroad, and then we have 2 DJs that are local DJs. And then we have an artist. They are both 2 artists. They are both coming from Helsinki. Yeah. And then after that, so on the 12th, the festival starts at 6 o'clock and then ends at 1:30 in the morning. And after that, we have what a lot of people are looking forward to, what we call the after party. Yeah, so the after party has limited capacity, so we have it in the basement, in the hall there in Titan Hollow, and then the DJs will play there, and then we wrap it up around 4 o'clock.
Wow, that really is a lot of things because
Yes.
yeah, we mentioned the music, the dance, and a bit of the food, but
Yeah.
now you also mention like designers,
Yes.
acrobats. It's very wide. You want to showcase so many things.
We really want to showcase the Afro-Latino Caribbean cultures in every aspect that we can think of. Yeah. And then that's not even all, because then we have, this year we introduced something called the Play Corner, where we have games that are coming from Africa and South America. And it's not only games that are like physical, that will make physical games. We also have a board game. So if you don't want to be physical, you can chill and do the board game. Yeah.
Okay.
And then we have face painting.
Oh, that's so
And then we have hair braiding. So there are a lot of activities that
there is no way to be bored.
There is no way to be bored on that day, because we really want to showcase the cultures in the best way that we could. And I think that's how we are planning to do it.
Okay. But talking about all the things you want to showcase and to show, and this year's edition has a theme, cultural spectrum. So what does it mean specifically? How would how will it show in the programmation of this year's edition?
Yeah. I think already the way I've been talking about it, you could already see the spectra when it comes to cultures, because that's why we are calling it cultural spectrum, because it's an area of cultures, right? So if you think about it, that Afro-Latino Caribbean, that is over 100 countries. And each country as well has its own peculiar culture. And then each region, each country. So that's how we think it's an array of cultures. So the cultures will just be radiating. On that day, that's why it's a cultural aspect. And that's represented throughout the festival, because we have different kind of performances that each will show a unique part of the culture. And then you talk about the food, you talk about the clothing, and yeah.
Yeah. How do you? That's
So what do you think? I think that's the cultural spectrum, in our opinion.
that's quite broad spectrum. And,
It is a broad spectrum,
and
because
yeah. I can see why the people I've met who've been to your festival are saying that there's no way to be bored there. I mean,
you cannot be bored in our festival, because we really, really provide the vibes. You really see people enjoying. People really have fun. I think this is one of the surfaces of the festival. You see people dancing.
And I was also thinking that even if it's like huge to have like 2 continents, like South America and Africa, I mean, it's huge continents. But let's say when we've been during the music classes now, we're working with loops, and certain kind of beats. And now they have just made a new library with beats, with this like Afro beats. And I think even that is sort of showing that there is this one beat that is coming from this part of the world that is very significant and important for the music industry, let's say. So, and it has its roots in the African culture, fully from the beginning. So that's why it's called Afrobeat. Although it's now used by Finnish pop artists and Swedish, there's a lot of this Afrobeat, but it's really nice to have it from the roots of it, to remember that where the beats came from. So
Undiluted.
Yeah.
but that's why and it's very danceable.
Yeah.
So even the kids at school, they don't always know that it's Afrobeats or what beat is. But of course, it's nice to try to learn. But every beat has its roots coming from somewhere. Yeah, and when it comes to the music and the Afrobeats, even now in the classrooms at school, when we work the loops and creating music, the Afrobeats has really an own library with Afrobeats, and it's and it has its roots, of course, in the African culture. So it's become a really important part of the music. How should you say?
Like all these different areas of the world that you're covering will have to definitely becoming super global, and people don't always maybe realize how they are affecting, as you said, the music industry and the dance communities around the world. So how would you say that you bring forward or sort of bring to the forefront all these different individual cultural areas within your festival? Like as we've been discussing, it's a very broad
I would
spectrum.
say the people that are there, because there's a big variety of people with different languages. So I think the people then showing up there, they are sort of the culture.
Diverse. I think we have a very a diverse audience when it comes to our festival, and I remember what I see. Like you can see like the colors. I mean, like it's not only the clothing; it's as well the people that we see at the festival. So, and Clara already mentioned that even the demographic is very diverse. In the part where we have the above 18, so you have like from 18 years to we have really old people as well, like 60 years old are there, 65. That is how broad the audience we have, broad audience we have at the festival. Yeah. So I think that's the way that we see that it's being received, or that's the way we see that we are bringing the culture forward. The people coming.
And that sounds absolutely amazing. That people are coming out,
Yeah.
and people are enjoying and joining.
People are having so much fun. I think this is the thing about the festival. It's the fun people have there. The vibe, the energy, everyone dancing, the old, the young.
Maybe moving from the sort of people side of or the point of view, but how has it been working with the city with organizing this event, or have you had any sorts of collaborations with the city of Turku?
You're talking to the right person. We have our liaison coordinator right here. This is your question. How do we deal with
That's
the
your
city?
job.
That's Clara in the festival, in our organization. So
I mean, it can be a bit challenging because Turun Kaupunki, it's like a big organization, or how should I, organization? No, what to say. Anyway, there are a lot of people, and it's challenging or also to know who is responsible for what field here in the city. And as this festival is still new, when something is new, people can be a little bit, what's the word?
Careful, wary.
Careful that
Yeah,
how
okay.
serious it is gonna be, and are they serious about what they are doing? But I think little by little, they notice that this is something serious that can actually add something very positive to Turku. And I think also the cooperation with Taiteiden Talo is helping, because also Taiteiden Talo needs support from the city. So for that, I think it can bring a lot, but there is still, I think, a lot of work to do with that to make the city also realize that we would appreciate more help. It's quite challenging sometimes with what's the word in English? permissions for certain things and rules and permits and things like that. But in general, I think they are becoming more positive. The more known it's becoming, and I think that's maybe with everything. Also, the possibility to look for grants from Taike, for instance. I think that will be a good thing for the future. But that also, they have a rule that you have to organize the festival at least 4 years before they will even consider to give some grants.
Can you explain quickly what is Taike?
Taike is like supporting arts, culture.
But it's a fund. It's a fund
Yeah.
to help a cultural.
Cultural activity.
Yeah, they really have like this specific link, a good support for festivals and multicultural events. I think, but you have the first rule is you have to have had a history of 4 years.
Okay.
No, 3 years.
3 years.
3 years.
Also, you're soon going to be applicable. So, but it's a bit. Yeah, I mean, it's wonderful that this kind of thing exists. But still, waiting 4 years of existence to have support is a long time. I mean, you have to
Yes.
you have to do a lot of things on your own before that.
Yeah.
Has it been hard sometimes to organize something, or has it been?
You're talking money now, right?
Oh, not necessarily money. Just organizing, like you were talking about, having the permits. Because I imagine you need a lot of permits. You need the permission to make loud sounds in the evening, sell alcohol maybe. But there's a lot of things you left.
There are a lot of permits that are needed, and that's what Clara was explaining, the involvement of the city in granting these permits. Permits for publicity. We need permits to do publicity as well.
Oh, really? Like,
Yeah,
you
you
mean
need
putting
putting
in the city?
Yeah, put the arts there on the streets, and
Mm.
then the cultural street parade. Of course, we need a permit for that.
You said that at the opening of the festival, there are officials having a talking. Did you mean officials from Turku?
From
Or-
Turku City.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So they do acknowledge your festival greatly enough that they come to talk.
I think they know they have received the festival well to the people we've talked to. Yeah, but I think what Clara meant is that we will appreciate a little bit more support to facilitate things happening. Because last year we had Mika Akkanen. He's the International Affairs Administrator.
And they say that the festival is still so small.
Yes.
That's why they
They
don't
think we are not
involve.
big enough.
You were mentioning, what was the
Mika Akkanen. He's the one that gives a speech for the Yolo Rauha.
the head of international affairs?
Yes, the one, yeah. So Mika Akkanen, he's the head of international affairs. So he opened the festival last year. And then this year, I think, Clara, you get us him or someone else, but we will get someone to officiate the festival this year as well from the city.
Okay. It sounds to me like you still, for all these years, you kept on having to prove yourself, like to show who you are, and so I really hope they finally realize how big you're getting. You were mentioning earlier that you really like your festival happening in the courtyard of Taitantaro. It's an important place for you. But at some point, if you grow too big, you will have to go somewhere else.
Yes.
Would you have any other place in Turku in mind? Another way to organize your festival when, and I hope it will, be bigger?
There is always Kupita Park, because Kupita Park, it's big, right? But even, as Clara mentioned, even the Titan Talo, right now we are using the Titan Talo S5-Ep.5. So the courtyard of the outhouse building is what we are using. But then we can expand to the Brinkala Piha.
Ah, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Like in Ilmi Festival.
Exactly. And we can as well expand to the courtyard behind there. So it just depends like how big it gets. And if it gets, which is what we really want, we want it to be really big. So
Sounds like you have opportunities to sort of create then separate spaces.
you can have different stages.
Exactly.
Yeah, and if we just the Titan Tall, I think we can manage to go to thousands of people there still. Yeah, so but if we get as big as Ruiz Roll, yeah. Just start to think, where we want to go to.
That would be great.
The dream come true, huh?
So I would be really interested to hear what sort of impacts or effects have you seen in Turku relating to your festival, do you feel like there's been some change, let's say within the administrative level, within just people, maybe people's points of view, people's sort of appreciation
Yeah.
of cultures,
Yeah.
being able to maybe embrace
Yeah.
new aspects?
I would think like in general, like the festival has been well received by the people of Turku. But the impact that we think the festival has, I think that we will wait to see, because I don't know, we don't have any statistics yet. Yeah, probably that will come with time. And talking about the future, I think this festival will have a very important role to play when the Turku gets to its 800 years. There is nothing as international in the space of Turku as this festival. Just putting it there.
Quite true.
Yeah. So if you think that the city of Turku, it's an international city, promoted a lot of internationalization and then multiculturalism, I think it's this festival.
Simply put.
Period.
Period. Exactly. No. That yeah. So talking about this, actually, we are only talking about Turku here.
Mhm.
But do you think you're even unique as a festival in Finland? Because again, as we were talking about before starting to record, when you look about festivals in Finland that has either something to do with Latino culture, dance or music, or African, it's always separated.
Yes.
Actually, it's always either Latino or African, and it's always just the music or just the dance or everything. I kind of feel like you're sort of unique in blending everything. Do you feel you are? Do you think you are the only ones proposing
You
this?
saying we are not unique and asking? I would say we are unique.
No, from what I've looked, I feel like you're unique. But what would you say to that?
Yeah. I would say we are unique in what we do. And the first thing you mentioned it yourself, that you've seen Latin events, you've seen Afro events. You haven't seen the blend. And this is what we are doing. So in that way, I think we are unique because we are blending that. We put in the cultures together, Afro, Latino, Caribbean. Yeah. And in Finland, as a festival, I think we are the only festival. There is no other festival. Don't quote me, but because anyway, if there is, I don't know about it, but I think we are the only one.
Yeah, and it kind of show the perception of a lot of people from the Western world towards Latino and African cultures, that it's two separate corner of the world. But actually, historically, I mean, a lot of culture in the Caribbean and in Latin. I mean, there's so much things that came from Africa. The culture, the food, even the beliefs, the religion. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
so that's why
It's so easy to mix them.
it's easy to mix because
Yes.
it's mixed in the
one
first
road.
place. It's
Yeah, so Africa is the root. So that's why it's easy to put them together and have a success. When it comes to the rhythm, it comes to the percussion, it comes even to the food. Of course, there is some evolution, right? But the origin, it's Africa. Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, you were mentioning earlier this parade, and I'm so sad I wasn't in Turku last time it happened, because it seemed amazing. So is it how was it last year? Was it like thousands of people marching in Turku with I would imagine flags of different country or or
Yeah.
different dance? How is it? How is the parade itself?
Last year it was it was a new thing last year, so it was not that long. It was a little bit shorter, but with the samba carioca there starting it all, I think the sun was really shining, and it was really fantastic.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, color, and it was really exciting because it was something that you sort of came up with, just like that.
Oh, it was your idea, Marceline.
What is Marceline? Look at that.
Oh, is that your position in the team, Marceling and throwing crazy ideas?
Crazy ideas, and they are receiving. They are a charm. Like
Nobody's supported with crazy ideas.
my head is full. I have crazy ideas, and then But the thing is that it's just an idea, and then the team develops it. So that's how it works.
Yeah, and also because the Taiteiden and Talo, yes, it's wonderful, but you really need to know where it is. And it's still sort of there in a yard.
Yeah.
So that was a really nice thing to sort of make people around in the city notice that something is going on and now it's starting. So
Yeah, and it's still sort of new as a cultural center in Kupu because not long ago, now people are starting to hear about it, but not long ago, people still didn't know much of Taida and Talo. Like they didn't necessarily know there was something happening there apart from.
It's new as well, right? It's not that old either. I think when we started the festival, that year it was created the year before. It's new. Yeah, Titan Talo on its own, it's new.
Which is, I mean, it's great that it exists because it's very central, it's beautiful place. And as you mentioned earlier, yes, it's great because if you include Brinkala's yard, and you can really have a festival with different theme as they do again, otherwise saying in. That's why I love the festival in Mio because there are all those things happening all around. If you would have that, that would be crazy.
Yeah.
You would have like the Afro corner, Latino corner.
That's the plan.
Okay, yeah.
You have a stage for Afro, you have a stage for Latin, you have a stage. Yeah. That's the plan. You just need to get bigger, get more people.
And it's really amazing to hear that you started to organize this parade. I feel like lots of events stay hidden in the area that they are being organized. But I feel like, going to the very, very central, Turku is all really important so people can actually say all these things.
We'll have a display at the Kapatori, and then we continue with the festival.
That's a great idea, yeah. You advertise the festival as a.
Yeah, it is like advertising the festival per se at the same time because this is me, Marceline, talking, not the festival per se, but not the festival team. Me, Marceline, talking, it's like what I really would love to see is to expose these cultures to the Finnish society. And this is one way of doing it. You show on the streets how the cultures look like. And my reason for doing this is because I want more tolerance. It's easily acceptable that there are different cultures. They look different and they are okay. And another reason, of course, is that the way I see it in my own small little corner is to help in facilitating integration because it's something we all really need. And integration is a two-way street, right? Even though we live in Finland, we integrate in the Finnish society. They get to know us as we are getting to know them. And once people know each other, then there is tolerance. Another thing that people have problem with tolerance is like if it's very mysterious. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, you don't know what it's all about. You have it in your imagination.
Yeah.
But once you see it and you're like, oh, this is okay.
Yeah.
This is fine.
And this is fun.
And this is fun. Yeah. I think this is the easiest way. In my opinion, this is the easiest way, isn't it? Like, then when you see that and then you go into the festival itself, I mean, from the parade and then you get into the festival itself, it's music, right? Very, very easy way for people to talk. People that have differences. You're having fun. You have your neighbor there looking different and you're dancing and you're talking with each other. Yeah.
And I think also instead of, let's say, have this endless discussion about racism, how to be, you just blend in together, everybody.
Something.
Yeah, and then you have a friend, and then another friend, and when you have a friend, like a personal friend, then you cannot be afraid of anything.
Yeah. We have a lot to talk about there, really. Just to talk about then tolerance and racism and and acceptance.
But dance and music is always magical for killing all that.
Yeah.
And
this is something that we'll notice that the festival is becoming a melting pot, like a place where people meet and talk and enjoy and have fun. People, when I say people, I mean people of different cultural backgrounds. You really see that clearly in the festival. You just see it.
people, you have to go to this festival.
You have
Then-
to come to
And I don't know how well you can see it on the image, but Marceline is wearing
Yes.
the colors of the festival. And oh yeah, you can even yes, no problem. You cannot see it on the camera, but she also has the most wonderful shoes. Do you actually sell
Yeah,
merchandising to the connected to the festival?
that we are thinking about. That will come in the future.
Because for the moment, the t-shirts is only for you.
For the moment, the T-shirt is for us, yeah, but we are thinking about it. So when we think expansion, so these are the things that we have to think about. We get ourselves some merchandise that is the festival. But until we get some funding and we get some money, and yes.
Besides the merch, what else do you have in mind for the future? We've been talking about the past and the present, but then
Yeah, like
what
far
happened?
ahead. Yeah. Again, I bring crazy ideas.
Really, you ID. We can have we can be the first people.
It's very funny because, like, I remember the last time that the team got to hear, like, we are having a 2-day festival is when I plowed it out on the stage. I'm like, next day is going to be 2-day, and Tara was like, no. And Clara was like, what is she talking about?
But we were talking a little bit about maybe also find some already very known artists. Because as I know, as a musician and musicians in Finland in general, people come if they know, it's somebody that is known. It does add a lot of audience because some people come to they come see the one and then they stay for everything else.
It's their fans. People want to follow their idol.
So even last year when we had really this band, I mean, not only DJs but also one band, there were some in the audience that came actually say, yeah, that band.
Yeah.
So I think it's good to think about the profile of and I think about the music so much. So the profile of what kind of musical experience do you want to offer the audience? But apart from that, of course, there are a lot of other things to appear an audience of different kinds. Again, I just think about music and what would I like to go and listen to?
If you want to have the perfect blend of Finnish culture and Latin music, we are in the country of Finnish tango, right? Is there some big name of Finnish tango that you would like to bring?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe you know the term iskelmä.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's a genre that has definitely grown, like not only grown in size, but also like we were talking about bringing Afrobeat, bringing Latin American flavors into the area, musical cultures. I've done lavata situation for Mette Kiberiki, and you can definitely see people picking up bachata and salsa, and everything. Exactly. So that also makes Finnish artists want to then incorporate all the rhythm and all these aspects of music.
Yeah, and the in Turku has a really big DJ scene, and a lot of DJs in Turku are from very various backgrounds. It's all coming together. I feel like
I think that before, when I thought about the festival, that it's going to be a DJ focused event, gig piece, that the centerpiece of entertainment as a DJs, then I was like, Turku is the best place to do something like that. Why? Because we have Turku is where a DJ had blown. We have the Sandstorm. That's from Turku. So it just makes sense to make a DJ focus event in Turku. It's just like our thing, people from Turku, that's our thing. We make DJs big. Or make DJ big, yeah.
And you were dreaming about becoming the size of Ruisrock as well.
I'm a dreamer.
Is this a project that you want to keep going on for years and years and years and see how far it goes? Or do you have like a set plan that, okay, this many years we are trying this and then we see, or you just keep going to see?
I think there should be an end to something. I think that we have a target. So each year there is a target. We want to achieve this and this and this and this. So we set the targets and we try to achieve them. I think this is how we will do each year. So we just like set our goals, set our targets, and try to achieve those.
Okay, it really sounds like this festival is in good hands. People who have ideas, who are motivated, who see long term. So yeah, I think you who are listening and watching this episode, you are probably super motivated to visit this festival. I am right now because with all that you've been telling us, it's been so diverse and so wide. So can you repeat one last time the dates of the festival?
Yeah. The festival will be on the 11th to the 12th of July 2025 at the Titan Palo, Turku. Yeah. And tickets.
I was going to ask you how do we get the tickets?
My market side. So without you can sell without telling people to buy tickets. So I have to maybe go over that, or should
Yeah. Where do we go to buy the tickets? Are they do we buy them on the spot on the day, or is there reservation? Are there reservation on internet?
Yeah.
Or
So for a festival of this nature and of what we'll be talking about, the festival is really affordable. The tickets are just 20 euros for both days. So if you buy the ticket 20 euros, you can attend on Friday and as well on Saturday. And where do you find the tickets? From our website. So you go to www.soundsofsouth.fi and then there you get the ticket.
we
And the
will put
ticket
the website under the video. Yeah.
and the ticket is just 20 euros for advance, but on the day of the festival, we put it up to 25 euros. Even if you buy it online or at the gate, it will be 25 euros. So it will be wise to buy your tickets right now, so you don't have to pay 25 euros at the gate. So yes, we do sell tickets at the gate if we are not sold out.
Wonderful. You have all the information you need to go to this festival. Colorful festival, great music, great food,
Great vibe, great energy,
great people.
great people.
Everything is great, actually. Well, thank you very much for following this episode, and thanks again to our wonderful guests. Thanks to the co-hosts, and yeah, see you again next time on the podcast of Radio Crew and on the South of South Festival. Bye bye.